This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Good.
Why was it such a...
Usually I prepare something ahead of time. How am I feeling this week? I take like a personal inventory as you're ramping up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, you want to be honest.
I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I know Tom's going to ask me how I'm doing. Let's
Am
check
I good?
in.
Oh,
Yeah, let's check in,
Let's take
right?
a quick internal inventory.
Yeah, and I forgot to do it this time. I was looking at your dog.
Well, I mean, she's, I don't know, laying down.
All right, ask me again.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Dog.
Oh, what? No, you got it wrong
I was
again.
looking at the dog again.
Yeah, that time was even worse than the first time.
Yeah, at least I said something. We got to keep it moving.
Yeah, that's all I care about. Just snappy answers. They don't have to be right.
Hey, we're a regular Mad Magazine over here. You're Al Jaffe.
Oh, man, I
Snappy
wish.
answers, stupid questions.
Yeah. He's passed now, right?
Al Jaffe?
Yeah.
He might be one of those impossible...
I know he was
yeah.
very, very old for a long time. I don't know if he's still very old.
Yeah, he died at 102 last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2023.
Yeah. I thought I remembered that. 102.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess drawn, I don't know, goofy, funny things is the secret to longevity.
Yeah. Al Jaffe, good man. And he had a funny name. Al Jaffe's pretty funny
Yeah,
name,
that
right?
sounds like a great, cartoonist name.
Yeah, Mad Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
He invented the Mad Magazine fold-in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I never, I get it. In theory, it's like...
I loved it. I loved it when I was a kid.
I did too, but
Yeah.
I didn't often understand it.
No, me neither. But it was just I don't know, a new optical illusion every month?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of. You could kind of see what it was going to
Yeah.
be. You just looked at the sides. And you're
Yeah. Yeah, it was never really oh, wow, I didn't see that at all. You're just taking the middle of the picture out.
Yeah. But hey, and if you wanted to keep your Mad Magazine in mint condition and you didn't want to fold it, you just had to train your eyes to cut out the middle of pictures. It's like a magic eye. It's a skill.
Well, I didn't like, when I was a kid, I didn't like folding things. I didn't like stickers. I didn't like anything that kind of permanently marred a thing in some way.
Yeah,
It was like a weird OCD I had as a kid.
I think it had something to do with the collectible culture
Maybe.
that came up in the late 80s, early 90s,
Yeah.
where it's these baby boomers baseball cards are worth something, and then suddenly everybody was like, I have to keep everything in mint condition all the time.
But I did it even when I was little.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just...
Yeah, I wasn't a collector yet.
Yeah, that's just a...
And I don't know
disorder.
why. My niece this past weekend, something we had given her, a camera. The next day, she had a sticker on it, and it was that looks great. There was a big empty space there, and you put I think it was a seahorse sticker.
Okay.
That really
Good
does
taste, yeah.
pull everything together. And then I was just thinking, yeah, when I was a kid. If somebody had done that to my thing, I would have had a meltdown.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I don't know
it.
what's wrong with it.
No, when my toddler's son has a sticker and he's like, all right, I'm going to put it in on a toy or something. Totally his choice.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you don't want to think about
But
this?
you're
You don't wanna,
ruining it.
Not even that. It's I think of it I wouldn't get a tattoo without
Right.
thinking things through a little bit.
And I think that's why both of us don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, and why my 2-year-old son has several already.
Yeah. And tough guy ones.
Yeah, some of them are just what does that symbol mean? And it's
Oh,
okay,
wow.
check it out.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's something from Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
Is he still big with kids?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you should be. It seemed like a great idea. Kids love like building and construction and stuff.
Yeah, I think they just don't need that. My son doesn't need the characters. He's just
No,
like, show me the trucks.
Yeah.
Show me the trucks. I don't care about this guy.
Now, what do you think he's going to think about Cars?
What do you mean?
Where the trucks, the movie Cars.
He's into it.
Oh, even though the cars are characters.
Yeah, because they're cars.
Yeah.
He likes cars.
Oh.
He likes cars and trucks.
But has he ever watched the movie and go like, I wish they'd shut up for a minute and just, like drive around?
They do quite a bit. I'm not sure if you've seen the movie Cars.
I've never
I haven't
seen
until
Cars.
recently. Yeah, a lot of the movies, the cars driving around, like not talking to each other.
My only experience with Cars is I went on the Cars ride in Disneyland Paris, and I saw two employees give each other the finger, and I thought, this would never happen in the American Disneylands. No. You'd be executed on the spot. I think.
Like Black Ops guys would come out.
Yeah.
What was the ride called? Les Cars?
Les Cars.
Oh.
No, it was, I mean, to be fair, it was a pretty shit ride. Actually, it was pretty cool. It was one of those, like tours, like, oh, we're on a tour bus and like, oh no, everything's going wrong.
Yeah, that's a classic theme park ride.
It needed a little more of that. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of like, who is this ride for? This would be terrifying for a child. And the rest of it, we're just like driving through Radiator Springs and I'm bored as hell.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden an earthquake happens and there are, explosions where you're feeling the heat and like, floods that look like it's about to, wash over you, but it doesn't. It's all set up. I don't know who this ride was for. And the people, it was kind of in the ass end of the park. And it was, I think, like late in the day of this says there's no wait. Let's go see what this is.
Yeah. I think it's not the same version of the very popular. I seem to think that there's a Disney World version of this that's like all the rage.
There's a Disney. I went on a Cars. I misspoke when I said I only had one experience with Cars because I went on the Radiator Springs. That's where I know the name from.
This is you know what? I'm calling BS on the. It's like when the New York Times is like, we're surveying undecided voters. And then you look, and then like someone digs into it, and they're like Republican operatives or something. Yeah. And it's like, why didn't they just Google these people? They're not undecided. You know all about Cars.
No,
Tom.
I don't.
You're not. I don't know anything about Cars except for the multiple immersive Cars experiences.
The other one, I believe, was called Radiator, but that's like a place in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other
where
ride,
Wilson lives.
It was called Radiator Springs something. And that one, you're in the race cars and you're racing. That one was sick. That one was really cool. That, like, it feels like you're on a road, not on like a track, and like you're racing alongside like another car that's full of other idiots inside of it. That one was a lot of fun.
Idiots or just other people that go to the theme park?
Yeah, like me. Yeah. Yeah, good rides. But yeah, this one in Paris, ass into nowhere, and like the like French driver of the vehicle was like sarcastically mouthing the words to the tape that must loop 1,000 times a day. It's like, look, I feel bad for you. I wouldn't want to hear this all day either, but you signed up for it.
Yeah. Hey, be better.
The least you can do is pretend like this is the first time you ever heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, we goofed.
Why? How?
We goofed. It's freaking Halloween month.
Oh.
Ooh, we didn't do the spooky intro.
Shit, we didn't do the spooky intro.
I think this always happens at probably the first 1 or 2 weeks of every October.
Yeah.
You want to do it like in a Dracula voice? Do the intro again?
Oh. Hello.
Yeah.
And welcome
to
the complete guide to everything. I am one of your hosts, Dracula.
Oh, you're Dracula?
Yes.
Who do I get to be? Usually you're Tomb and I'm skeleton.
Yeah, but you told me to do the Dracula voice. What am
I know,
gonna do?
but
I'm gonna
Tomb
do
could be-
the Dracula voice and be Tomb?
Yeah.
I'm a Dracula named Tomb.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright.
And I'm
I guess
skeleton.
it's
I'm a
easy.
skeleton. And
Yeah.
that's a great segue
Mm-hmm.
into our episode about skeletons.
Yeah, about skeletons.
This is very scary already, Tom.
It is scary. Have you ever been a skeleton for Halloween?
Yes. I'm glad you asked.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think I was like a couple years in a row, maybe when I was like 5, 6, maybe even 7.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never did the classic skeleton costume, and I don't know why.
I had it. It was like a bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't real bones. It was
Right.
just a.
Yeah, they
And
don't
then-
sell them that way anymore.
The first year, I remember having gloves that
Okay.
also had
had
the bones
the
on
bones.
them. I think
Mhm.
I lost them by the second year.
Right.
And then I also remember.
And like, you don't really need the.
No, yeah. Also, it was hard to hold my.
Yeah. I'm sure it was one size fits all gloves. That,
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't fit that well.
Uh,
Made out of some kind of incredibly dangerous, like nylon material that have
would have gone up like a freaking
just
road flare.
melt
Yeah.
to your skin.
Yeah, and I also seem to remember it like wearing it like throughout the year. Like it wasn't
Oh,
Halloween
okay.
only.
Yeah,
I
one of
was-
those kids.
Yeah, not to school.
Oh, okay.
They never would have let me do that.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody wears that kind of stuff at home.
Yeah,
Sometimes even now.
like adults.
Yeah, I'm not too old to get a skeleton costume to wear. Why'd you clear your throat like that?
Because I really had to
I
clear my
thought you were
throat.
going to be like, "Ugh, Tom, you're way too old to be wearing a skeleton costume,
mean,
even
you
just around
kinda
the
are.
house. Around the house.
Mm,
What if they're really comfortable pajamas and I just wear them
That's cool.
pajamas
Yeah.
at night? you
yeah,
know?
skeleton pajamas are a classic.
Yeah. Are they?
I mean, for kids.
Are they?
Yeah.
I've never seen
You know what the thing
skeleton.
is? Like, you can buy like Halloween. Like,
Mm.
you know, a lot of parents
Yeah.
buy their young children like seasonal pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
Okay,
some
that
really
makes
good.
sense.
There's some really good Halloween shit out there.
I should start wearing seasonal pajamas.
Why not? You know what I was thinking?
What?
I was watching The Sopranos. I was like, I need to just hang out in a bathrobe whenever I'm at home.
Yeah, why not?
Why am I wearing street clothes?
Yeah. Do you have pajama pants you put on, right?
Yeah, I have pajama pants.
I have them and like,
I have pajama pants and a sleep cap.
oh, okay. I have pajama pants and I don't wear them enough and I don't know what's wrong with me.
Is it because you fall asleep on the couch a lot? That's what
No,
happens to me.
I don't. I've been doing it recently, actually, but that's not it. But like, I just hang out in jeans all the time, and I think
Yeah.
like this is as comfortable as it gets.
Wait, do you sleep in jeans?
No, I don't sleep in jeans, not anymore.
It's gonna have you killed. Skeletons, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately scary.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you: you have any in your closet?
I'm not right. I don't know.
Wow, Tim, I am.
I was gonna say I'm
unexpected
not
at
running
such
for
a-
political office. I didn't want to get political here.
Oh, I see. I thought you just were like trying to change the subject.
Are you afraid of
This,
skeletons?
this was another question you weren't prepared for. Like, how are you?
That would really caught me off guard.
Do you have any skeletons in your closet? Or,
Played it real cool. Do you think skeletons are scary?
I mean, I guess it depends on the context.
Yeah. Have you noticed? I don't know if that. Well, my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
everybody goes real hard with Halloween decorations.
Okay.
Come to my neighborhood. Me walking.
Yeah.
Just to daycare
I'm
every
gonna
morning.
come to your neighborhood, Tim, with a 24-pack of eggs and some shaving
Oh
cream
my God!
and a couple of
Tom.
rolls of TB.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! There's skeletons
Uh-huh.
everywhere.
Wow.
There's this big pink skeleton where the mouth moves and the
Yeah.
eyes blink.
I wish everybody could see how excited you're getting.
Well, no. There's this one. There's
Does
this
it
one
say
house. It's a
things?
brownstone. No.
Oh, just the mouth moves? Because I saw one the other day, and he was singing a song.
Yeah, well, that's not scary. What was the song, actually?
I think it was just like, "Here comes Halloween, here comes Halloween."
That's pretty scary,
Yeah.
actually. But there's another skeleton next to the big pink skeleton.
Okay.
And it's a dark skeleton. It's on a swing that's swinging.
Yeah. Oh, but nobody's pushing it?
Yeah, but a child-sized skeleton.
Oh, yikes.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's like it's that really pulls
Jeez,
into
Tim,
like
this really scares you.
no, that just pulls into like it more depresses me than
Oh,
anything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
And then it's like then it is kind of scary. Like all these skeletons are dead guys
Yeah.
or ladies.
Well, but would you be more afraid in real life if a skeleton was coming after you or a giant skeleton was coming after you?
Probably giant, right?
I think I'd be more afraid of a regular sized skeleton.
Just because they're like more nimble.
Well, I think like a giant sized skeleton, I'd be thinking like, I could see how somebody could like rig this up to be remote controlled, but like a smaller sized skeleton.
Oh, so you like we're not assuming a world
Nothing.
where like
Just you're walking down,
okay.
you're walking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You're walking in the woods at night alone,
Okay.
and one of these comes running at you.
Ladies, would you rather encounter a man or a skeleton in the woods?
No, a man-sized skeleton or a giant skeleton. I think a giant skeleton, yeah, also in the woods you could get around, like you could run around trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be harder for it to maneuver.
You could like go through a door.
Yeah, it gets stuck in
Not
the branches.
in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For some reason, I'm seeing it like lumbering too. It can't
Yeah.
run as fast because I'm seeing the man-sized skeleton. It can run as fast as Usain Bolt.
Yeah, probably. And there's less wind resistance.
Exactly.
Too.
It's
It just
powered
flows
by
through his
the
bones.
supernatural. I looked up some facts about skeletons, Tim.
Okay.
Show can't be all opinions about skeletons. Sprinkle in some facts. I found a bunch of facts on this like chiropractor website. What was your take on chiropractics?
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's nonsense, right?
Yeah, well, this one chiropractor I went to said a racial slur while I was cracking my neck.
Well, and it's like a very controversial like practice because like there's a lot of other doctors that say it does nothing to negative.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That they're like completely against it, that you can make a problem worse through it.
Yeah, that like, and like, yeah, it seems like guys, and like, you don't need as much medical training to perform it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
read a thing, it might have been a thing.
some anti-chiropractic propaganda.
Yeah, but they were like citing like the level of like strokes after chiropractic sessions like skyrocket
Yeah.
in certain cases, which like I could see that if you're messing with like
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, with heads and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember like as a
I'm
kid.
not saying that's true. I read that on the internet. And I don't
I-
even know the actual claim.
I remember as a kid, my mom went to a chiropractor. She, I guess, had like back or neck problems. And I just like remember being like low grade traumatized by seeing like a guy like cracking her neck, like
Yeah.
twisting her neck.
Stop it. That's
violently.
my mom.
Yeah, it's my mom. I'll kill you. Also, this chiropractor had a bunch of like shrunken heads.
Well, this is not a chiropractor, Tom.
No, that's what I thought. I was like, what the hell's going
Was he
on here?
saying ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah? Was this part of it?
No, but he had that. It was like otherwise
Ting
a
tang,
very.
walla walla, bing bang,
was-
while he was cracking your mom's neck.
It was otherwise an incredibly like modern looking facility,
Right.
Like, or at least modern in the 80s, which everything was beige. I remember.
Everything in the 80s was beige.
Yeah.
You can't
The-
judge. You
But
can't
then-
judge anything on the
Everything looked
beigeness
clean
in
and
the 80s.
Professional, and on the it looked like a real medical facility. But then I just remember in the guy's office, he had like a couple of shrunken heads.
It wasn't like a tourist souvenir from like a
I
tropical
assume
island.
that's what it was, but
Okay.
still, I thought like because I remember asking my mom what that was, and her like explaining. but like explaining in like, cartoon terms or whatever. But to this day, I don't know if they were real shrunken heads or not.
Well, I assume they were.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he was a doctor. He'd be able to access that kind of stuff.
Not really a chiropractor.
But anyway, I found this like chiropractic website with some like interesting skeleton
I
facts.
think I might be anti-chiropractor.
Yeah.
I'm learning this in real time.
I remember just one time having a back issue and going to a chiropractor, and like they did some stuff, and it was like they fixed it. It was better, and they're like, "All right, so then you come back next week, and for the next 8 weeks." And I was like, "What? No, it feels better now. Why would you mess with it? Like, sure, if it goes back in a week or two, I'll be back, but." No, let's let this ride. Let's see if that did it.
I bet like a reasonable stretching routine
Yeah.
and periodic massages.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that a chiropractor could do.
I might be getting a massage tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a massage this weekend.
Oh.
I haven't gotten a massage in years.
Should we go get a couples massage? Is that what
Maybe.
you're
Is it
suggesting?
cheaper that way?
I don't know. We at least get to be in the same room.
That's
we can maybe get a week ahead on the podcast.
as we're getting this stuff.
Yeah, bring the mics.
Yeah. I don't like other people touching me though.
Yeah. So I don't know what you can do about that when it comes to a massage. They have like massage robots.
Well,
they have like chairs. But
those chairs hurt.
But I've seen now they have massage robots coming out that have like, arms and everything. But also
Is
look
that the universal sound of arms.
yeah. But also they like kind of look like, if they were set the wrong way, they could just like mash you to
Yeah,
bits.
no. Do you get one of those, or like you get one of those massage where they like punch you in the back a lot?
Nah, I don't really like that stuff.
I don't like it either.
I'm always like a real coward when I'm always like,
I don't want it to hurt. I want it to feel good the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Like something can hurt for like a second or two, if then it's gonna be like 10 seconds of like, that felt nice.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like you're doing something that hurts and that hurts later. Just don't really like it.
And some freaks like that, let me tell you.
Yeah. But I found this chiropractic website. The first fact they had about skeletons: no two skeletons are identical, making your skeleton as unique as a snowflake. Yeah, no shit. No two skeletons are identical. Why would they be identical? Nothing else in
no
humans
anything
is identical.
Yeah.
Like, it's never like, oh, did you know your liver's exactly the same as every other liver?
Well, I don't know. I kind of assumed that was the case.
No, and it's like, yeah, they're more.
Now
or
that
less
you think
the
about it,
same.
I did think that dumb thing.
What's this chiropractic website? Sounds like they're doing
I
good
got
work
a lot
over
to
there.
learn, yeah.
But yeah, of course they're.
Maybe I should go to a chiropractor just to talk this kind of stuff through.
I think that was that was only like interesting or not interesting. After that one, I think they had also as a fact the phrase "skeletons in the closet" originated from the practice of hiding embarrassing secrets. Family secrets, much like hiding actual skeletons.
What? No.
And it's like, I think everybody gets like, if you had a skeleton in your closet, that you're keeping that a secret.
Yeah.
See, people don't know you killed somebody and put their skeleton in the closet.
Right.
It's pretty straightforward.
These chiropractors, dumb as rocks.
You know how old the oldest skeleton is? The oldest,
Is this Lucy?
yeah, Lucy.
Yeah, I saw Lucy.
Yeah. But I guess it's not, because it's not a human skeleton, and it's not the oldest skeleton of anything.
Right.
But it's like the earliest ancestor of ours skeleton, I guess.
What is it?
3.2 million years ago. I'm not sure exactly what the
The pedigree is.
Yeah, we're Homo sapiens is Homo something, but I'm not sure how far back. But I just know that it's like the oldest ancestor of ours.
Yeah, where is Lucy kept?
I don't know.
I
Probably
feel
in
like,
a museum.
Yeah, no, I was in a museum and I saw her,
Oh.
but I don't know.
Tim, that sounds like a lie a little kid would tell.
No, I remember being like, "Oh, this is Lucy." I've heard about Lucy. It's cool. I'm seeing Lucy.
Yeah.
Straight up here.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if it was
Is
like
it the Museum of Natural History,
well,
maybe?
yeah, but I feel like I would know.
Would you? I mean, you don't know where you saw it.
Where is Lucy skeleton?
Put not Charlie Brown Lucy.
Ooh, I can't wait till her skeleton is. Where is she kept now?
They don't have that in the Wikipedia.
They do somewhere.
Well, she's got a right to privacy, you know?
Exhibit. Oh, okay. This is exactly. She was on tour from 2007 to 2013.
Yeah, well, how'd she organize a tour, Tim? She's been dead for 3.2 million years.
God damn it.
And where'd you see her on tour?
I'm trying to think.
With the Grateful Dead opening?
Nope. There we go. The Discovery Times Square exposition. In June through October 2009. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
Whew. I've seen the oldest skeleton.
Well, I just want to make sure I didn't dream it.
Yeah.
Because it felt so real.
Right. Wow. So you've been sitting here the whole time, an expert on skeletons, having laid your eyes on the oldest skeleton we found.
Yeah.
But there got to be older skeletons out there.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. We don't find a lot of shit as people. That's my understanding
Well, why don't they just check the graves?
I think sometimes they didn't put people in graves way back when. They didn't know about them yet. And that's the trouble. You ever go to, I went to this old graveyard once.
Okay.
Fucking tombstones everywhere. There was a mess.
Yeah.
It's like,
you can't even
somebody
read them
come
anymore.
in here and fix these things up.
Some of them are so little, too.
Yeah, and
it's
the ground's all lumpy. Things have moved
what a
around.
rip-off, yeah. I don't know. That's the kind of graveyard where the skeletons come out and play xylophone on each other at night.
That's what it was in Ireland, and it was ancestors of mine buried there, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna go there at night when the fog comes in.
No, what?
They come up like a.
Yeah, then that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they do that once they're like, oh, it's Tommy. It's one of my
we
descendants.
don't need to scare him away. Let's play his favorite song.
We can play Under the Sea instead. Put away the bones and get out the shells. Tim, your skeleton is made up of 206 bones.
Yeah, but when I was a baby, it was a lot more.
300 bones when you're a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that these bones disappear as we grow older. Instead, these tiny bones fuse together to form the larger bones of the skeletal system.
Mm-hmm.
So, like your femur? Is your femur multiple parts? No. When you're a baby?
I don't know.
Or is it just because it's crazy to think when you're a baby you have more bones because you're smaller. You would think anything you'd have fewer bones.
Yeah, but you're limber, I guess.
I think it's just, I don't know why. I don't know why that happens.
Why? Oh, well, some of them are in the skull.
Oh, okay.
You know how you can't touch a baby's head?
You can touch a baby's head.
You
just
shouldn't.
have to be careful.
You shouldn't. No, Tom, I don't want you touching any baby's heads. Oh, no, I'm always very careful. Why don't you just not touch it, Tom? All the time, it's just like, Tom, just stop touching the baby's head. It's getting, you don't need to be touching it.
So is this what, is that where it all comes from? Just that, they're counting the skull as one bone? And then before then, they're like, yeah, there's 100 bones. Because how you see a skull and it kind of looks like there are plates together, it kind of looks like stitched together.
I don't have that much experience with bones.
Tim, you saw the oldest bones around.
I know, but you know what the other thing about Lucy was? They don't have a lot of her bones. They have some of her bones, and then there's like plastic being like, this is where the other bones would be if we had found them.
Yeah. It's like, well, those aren't. Well, maybe he made that plastic out of her bones.
Well, why would they do that?
But I'm just saying through the natural
Okay.
process of them becoming
they,
oil.
They like ground them down.
Made them into plastic.
Yeah.
Just to show Lucy who's boss.
Yeah.
Your body has two types of bones. You may think of bone. This is from healthline.com, by the way.
Okay.
You may think of a bone as a hard, dense material, but only one type of bone is like that, and that's called a cortial bone. They're the structure bones. The second type, trabecular bone, is soft and spongy. It's often found inside large bones and in your pelvis, ribs, and skull. Well, those are other bones. You're saying I got bones in my bones?
Whoa. This goes deeper than we ever imagined.
Yeah. Okay, well, now I'm starting to figure out where those other bones went to when I was a baby. They went inside my other bones. I don't know, if the bone's inside your pelvis and your ribs and your skull, isn't that a bone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bones are filled with spongy tissue. I feel like this is something I only found out recently.
Really?
Like bone marrow and all that.
You didn't know about the existence of bone marrow.
I knew about it, but I think I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah.
Not like recently.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, you learn about it in school and they're showing you like, oh, it's spongy. I'm like, yeah, it looks spongy, but it's still bone.
Yeah, whatever, Mr. Moranti.
It's still bone in there. Oh, I got to be able to crack open a bone and there's sponge in there.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes there is. The smallest bone in your body, Tim?
Pinky.
No.
Pinky toe.
No. Tim. It's in your ear. Did you know there are some bones you can't see?
But you can hear.
Yeah, you can hear them. This bone is called the stirrup because it's shaped like a Y. And together with the anvil and hammer bones, the stirrup helps translate sounds you hear into waves your brain can understand.
I actually know this because oddly, this is education. This is like I was a music.
Our podcast is an educational
I was a music
podcast.
business major in college.
And they were like, this bone, this is the one you got to monetize.
No, kind of like we did have to like learn
you
about
find
like
a way into this. You find a way into this bone of a customer, and you've got a customer for life.
yeah, but it's like,
How music works.
yeah, it's like yeah, exactly the science of like the perception of sound and stuff. And it's like I'm here to learn about like mechanical royalties and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to be like, but like you're like, ooh, the
Yeah, Quincy Jones isn't like, oh, I can tell you everything about all the bones in the ear, and that's what made me such
I
a
think they're
successful.
spinning their wheels. They're just like, well, you need this credit of some like bones class.
Yeah, I remember I took a physics of music class that I thought, I was like, this is just physics. This is bullshit.
I mean, it is cool. I think friend of the show Dan Deacon will utilize that, right? When he's like, because that was all like sine waves.
Oh,
and
like,
like
yeah.
like and like
yeah,
how
it is
things-
teaching you, how waves and, wave, you got the different types of sign. You got like the square waves and the saw waves, all
Yeah.
that. But, at the same time, I was like,
amplitude, frequency, all that stuff.
but at the same time, I was like, I would about halfway through every class, I'd raise my hand and say, yo, teach, can we put on some Zepp?
Yeah. Did it work?
No, it never worked.
You're like, I gotta hear some Bonzo.
Yeah. Hey, I think the class would get a lot more out of that than this. It's like, why do you talk like you don't normally have that accent when you speak to me after class when I'm chastising you.
I'm sorry, Professor. I didn't mean to talk about Bonzo so much.
I saw one time a professor throw a paper at a student.
Throw a paper? Was
Like
it balled up?
No, like a paper they were trying to hand in late.
Yeah, but how do you throw it?
Like it was like stapled together, like an essay, like a paper they had done. and it was like very late. It was like a week or two late. It was like the last class of the semester, and like she wasn't listening to him, and just like kept trying to put it in his hands, and finally he like flung it back at her and went, "Enough!"
Oh.
I was like, "Whoa!" It's like
I
was thinking, boy, if I had a phone that could take video and upload it to the internet right now, I could be going viral. But that wasn't really a thing yet.
In 2003, you were thinking about going viral.
Yeah.
I took a music history class because I had to, and I don't know. I should have taken like a gap year or like 4 or 5 after high school to get my act together.
Yeah, work at the Gap for a year.
Yeah, I mean that would have been
money.
That would have been time better spent than like being like, oh, I can't believe I have to take this class. It's like nobody was I was paying thousands and thousands of dollars to do it. I acted like somebody was making me do it.
Yeah,
like I had to take this stupid fucking music history class.
And like you're talking about classes that like sound fun, like sound interesting.
Like I would.
It's not like you're like, oh, I had to take statistics 467 and I hate it.
Yeah, I needed to like know how like cool it is to have the opportunity to like what you're responsible for is like just learning stuff that you're interested in. But I wasn't thinking like that when I was 19.
No.
And whatever, for extra credit, which I needed because I think I like missed too many of these classes or whatever. He's like, write, this professor was good. He's like, write a paper and it has to have some connection to music history and stuff. And I just did like light internet research about how Pinkerton, the Weezer album, was inspired by Madame Butterfly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like in the loosest way,
or it's like he saw Madame Butterfly once.
And like cool. Pinkerton is like a character in Madame Butterfly, whatever. Like, and like I don't know how I filled like 3 pages of. But I did. I handed it in, and I could tell he was so disappointed that he had to give me extra credit because, like, it was so broadly defined.
Right. Where like, he's like, you did do work.
You did work, and like, I can't.
It's just not very good.
Yeah. Why did you do this?
Well, and for anybody sitting there going, "Hey, how come they're talking about music so much? I thought this was about skeletons." Well, maybe you're forgetting the original xylophone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ribs. Or just bones.
Well, all music is mostly just bones when you think
good
about
music, at least. Tim, you know what the longest bone in the body is? We're not talking about that kind of thing. It's the femur. It's this bone right here. I'm showing it to you.
Your
showing
thigh.
you my bone. Your thigh. Which is also... I think maybe the strongest. It's the strongest for sure. It can handle up to 30 times its own, I think a person's body weight.
Yeah. You know somebody who broke their femur recently?
Yeah. Recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like you don't hear about it a lot because, it's that normally only happens in like car accidents or, it takes a lot to break a femur.
Oh, God.
Do you care to say how this person broke it?
It was a pool accident.
Oh, yikes.
Not shooting pool.
Right, yeah. Because that would have been, come on, you're shooting pool too hard if you're breaking somebody's femur.
Yeah, she was, showboating.
So like landing on
it was my aunt.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm being so cagey, but like I don't know. I feel like this is a HIPAA violation maybe.
I forgot you are a doctor.
I am a doctor, so.
Well, and Tim, I guess in fairness, I should let you know that you are under arrest in suspicion
for this HIPAA violation.
Yeah. Well, no, suspicion around the breakage. You might want to have a lawyer here while you're talking.
I wasn't there when it happened.
Tim, tell it to the judge.
A judge now. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. She like fell getting out of the pool.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, when you're older too. I mean, that's why getting older stinks because all this stuff breaks easier.
Yeah, I'm really worried about my bone density.
Oh, really?
I'm not worried about it, but it's something that I. There's a lot of things that it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to take care of myself. But there's been no evidence that I take care of my body.
No. Well, and how do you make your bones denser?
Calcium.
You eat more calcium?
Yeah. I feel like if you
there's
just
not
eat,
other stuff too that you can do.
I don't know. You grind down other people's bones and eat them.
Oh, I don't know.
That's how ogres get so good.
That is how ogres get so strong.
Yeah.
And ogres are pretty long-lived, I think, too.
Yeah.
So maybe they're onto something. Maybe I will make some bread from somebody's bones.
I don't think I'd be afraid of an ogre in real life.
Well, they're real lumbering, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also feel like you could like befriend them a little bit.
You could certainly outsmart them, I think. Yeah.
But I'd be like, hey, ogre, let's go get a beer together. Let's what are you angry at me about?
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I'd be less afraid of an ogre than either a regular or giant-sized skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. Tom always bringing it back to skeletons.
Well, that is what the topic is.
Do you think an ogre, his mouth starts watering when he sees a skeleton strolling through the woods? He's like, I don't even have to rip the skin off to grind these bones to make my bread.
I think they probably like the skin, too. I think grinding the bones to make their bread, it's kind of like using the whole buffalo.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
More than half your bones are in your hands and feet. You have 206 bones in total. 106 of them are in your hands and feet. That's like
part of me is like, how do they know this?
What do you mean, how do they know this? They've looked at skeletons.
Yeah, but no two skeletons are the same. We've
but
established
they're like mostly the same. Yeah, did you think I meant they're wildly different when I said they're not identical? I mean, they're mostly the same, but they're not identical.
All right. So, like, roughly the same amount of bones, but we don't know. Isn't that weird about teeth? That, like, we all have the same amount of teeth?
Yeah.
Not me.
No.
I've gotten a couple teeth pulled. Got a small mouth.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Too many teeth for that mouth.
Yeah. Do you ever think about getting veneers?
Not really.
Yeah, because you don't need them, but, like, sometimes it's just, like, nice to be like,
I'm fascinated by like the idea of it.
Yeah.
The idea of like grinding your teeth down to little nub teeth.
Yeah.
And then
it seems psychotic.
Right.
But it also seems so alluring in some ways.
Right. Well, I mean, and the people that are like most famous for it are like celebrities that it's just like a quick fix of okay, all of a sudden I've got money. Or I'm talented, but I'm trying to get bigger, but somebody told me I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you could like get braces and whiten your teeth and do all these things. Or you can just like grind them all down and we'll put porcelain?
Yeah,
I guess? Yeah, porcelain veneers.
Do they put you under when they're grinding them down?
They must, or do something to you. Yeah. They probably give you the old nitrous, I imagine.
I just feel like it would be like a tedious process to be like even like just being conscious for it would be like, it'd be freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they've got some way to do it quicker than just like slowly grinding each one, But I don't know. I'm not going to find out. I don't need those.
No. But I might get, if I get them, I'll let you know.
I'm sure I'll know, Tim. You're gonna get real big ones. You come in here one week looking like Guy Smiley. I think I'll know. Hi, Tom. Are you ready to do the other stuff today? I'm not that surprised that more than half the bones are in your hands and feet.
Yeah,
it makes sense. You look at how much they can move.
Dexterity here. Yeah.
Excuse me. Did you say dexterity?
I said dexterity, Tom.
Because that brings us on to our next topic. One bone isn't connected to any of the other bones.
Go on.
Yeah, it's not the bone you're thinking of. It's the hyoid bone, which is in your throat. It's the only bone that doesn't connect to a joint, responsible for holding your tongue in place. Is that the bone that it was on Jeffrey Epstein that was broken? That like
I haven't heard anything about Jeffrey Epstein's bone stuff. Go on.
I know there's like a bone in his neck, in his like throat that was broken. That is typically seen more in strangulation. And that's like one of the things that, you know, people, conspiracy theorists like hang on to, of like, how did he break this bone that would have been hard to do through, you know, what the official story.
What is the official story?
That he unalived himself.
Yeah, but how?
With a bed sheet, I think. Like,
but that wouldn't break the bone.
Made a noose. Yeah, something like that. I think maybe because that would apply the pressure evenly, which might not do it. But you know, when like a hand does it,
so much conspiracy stuff.
Yeah,
and you act like everybody reads that stuff too.
A lot of people read that stuff, Tim. A lot of people try and stay current with events.
Saying, yeah.
I know you want to, you know, you're like, no,
I believe
hey,
whatever I'm
let's just
told.
leave the official explanation alone.
Yeah.
He was a sick man. Let's not put any of his black book out.
I mean, people could have been in that book for any reason, Tom.
It could be business contacts. It could be philanthropic friends. Could have been a man they wanted to talk to about seeing the Lucy skeleton. Most people have 12 ribs. Some have 13. You know who didn't? Marilyn Manson. Tim. He got some of them removed.
I know.
I won't go into why.
Paul Pfeiffer from The Wonder Years, ladies and gentlemen.
A 13th rib is rare. Only 1% of people are born with it. In most people, this extra rib, called a cervical rib, can cause medical issues like neck pain. For that reason, people born with this extra rib often have it removed. Oh, sounds like a big pain in the ass having that extra rib.
Pain in the neck, maybe.
Yeah. But also, it's like, oh, it's like a neck rib? Ugh. I thought
I don't
it would
think
go
it's a
below
neck
the
rib.
other ones.
No, I think it's all connected, Tom.
Yeah, I know the song.
You know, you've been reading...
Except the hyoid bone.
You've had a lot of notes. I've just had the lyrics to Them Bones up on my computer screen the whole time.
Well, that's good. That's just as good.
Yeah. The toe bone's connected to the foot bone.
Mm-hmm.
But like this, no. There's the foot bone. We just learned about the foot bone.
There's a million bones in there.
Yeah.
Have you broken any bones in your life?
Broke my collarbone falling out of bed when I was a child.
Oh, I remember hearing this. Yeah. How old were you?
I think I was like 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
Like
and
young enough.
And your bones weren't still like spongy.
That's
like
what
Play-Doh?
I thought. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. I had to be in a sling and stuff.
Yeah,
and like
sure
I
that
think
was
it's
fun
still
as a 3-year-old.
all messed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about you? Break any bones?
I got a chiropractor. I could take a look at that for you. I broke my thumb bone, which I talked about in this show when that happened, trying to swat a fly. Broke like the tip of my thumb bone that the emergency care doctor at like midnight was like, how the hell did you break that? Like, we never see that part get broken.
Never gets broken, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, and there's nothing we can do. Like, because he was like, oh, it seemed to set itself nicely somehow. And I told him, like, oh, no, like, my finger was dented. So I pulled it, and that seemed to pop it into place. And for some reason, it did not hurt. Because he was like, I was like, nah, it didn't. Just kind of, like, click back into place. And then he was like, all right, well, that was all I was going to do, so I guess that's it.
That'll be $6,000.
Yeah. And then I've broken like my little toe. I think like a few times.
Yeah.
But again, there's
just like walking into things.
Yeah,
like
and there's like kind of, and you know, I never got an official diagnosis, but like based on like how much it hurt and like how purple it turned. It seemed broken, but again, there's like not really anything you can do for that. But other than that, I've been very lucky. I've never broken like any other bones. No legs or arms. Which, like, as a kid, I was a little jealous. You know, like kind of wanted a cast for people to sign, right?
But that just seems so horrific.
Having
to
a
break
cast?
a bone.
Oh yeah, because sometimes they pop out of your skin.
Yeah, like the other,
I think that would be like my reaction if I saw like my arm, like my forearm broken, would be I'm dying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we're hanging out with parents of other kids that my son hangs out with, and like they're all like running around jumping off of things because they're young rim. And like one of the other parents were like, who's gonna be the first one out of this group to break a bone? And I was just like, I don't know, but if it's my son, I'll weep for like a month because like I'd be very sad for him. That sounds terrible.
And it'd be bad.
Yeah,
a bad
traumatic experience. Yeah. So hey, I'm anti breaking bones. Well, no. If a skeleton is chasing you, break all the bones you need to break.
Oh, well, Tim. Bones are strong, but they're not the strongest thing. Teeth are stronger. The enamel on your teeth, which is considered...
Maybe I should reconsider filing them all down.
The enamel on your teeth, which is considered part of your skeletal system, is actually stronger than bones. Enamel protects the delicate nerves and tissues inside your teeth. Inch for inch, your teeth can take more wear and tear than any of your bones. Well, that makes sense. None of my other bones are out there in the world.
Wouldn't you feel better if they made all the bones out of the teeth enamel?
I don't know if
they wouldn't break so easily.
Yeah,
that's for goddamn sure.
But think about this. You'd have like a shiny skeleton.
That's cool as hell.
I don't know.
You know what? That should be an available upgrade.
From God.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now, where would you put a skeleton made of enamel? Not made of teeth, just made of enamel on the skeleton fear chart.
The scariest one.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's strong as hell.
Exactly.
You're not going to be
and
able
now
to do
you're telling
anything.
me you don't want an enamel skeleton?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the only way I can stand up to an enamel skeleton. Just to have one myself.
That's a good context, Tom, and I think that's a good way to think about it. Is if you're being chased by a regular sized skeleton, you can also say, "I'm a regular sized skeleton," and then some.
Yeah,
so
and I got muscles.
I should be able to, take this guy no problem.
Yeah,
he might be faster because of the lack of wind resistance.
Right.
We talked about that, but like if he catches up to you, it's not a fair fight. You have the advantage.
Yeah.
So don't be too scared.
Well, and you can use your teeth on his bones now with the knowledge that your teeth are stronger than his bone.
No,
you get a bone in the
skeletons don't
mouth.
generally have. Oh, do they have teeth? They have teeth.
They have teeth too. But they're going to be biting your skin. And it's going to be like, that hurts, but I'm still going to be able to run. Whereas if I bite your femur in half, good luck chasing me with one femur. Bones are natural healers. When you fracture a bone, your body will go to work producing new bone cells and helping heal the break. A cast or brace just ensures that your bone heals straight so you don't have more problems in the future.
Right. And it heals faster if you're on the island from Lost.
Is that true?
Yeah, because of the light that exists.
Okay. Here's something. You ever hear this like trivia question? And they're like, here's a trivia question.
Yeah, that's how most are prefaced in my experience, yeah.
Were X-rays invented or discovered?
Huh.
And they were discovered.
Well,
but my thing is like, all right, but come on.
That's a dumb trivia question because also like, if you know, it's always going to be the counterintuitive one if somebody asks that.
Yeah.
Here's a trivia question, and then has that shitty
and a lot of
grin on their
trivia
face.
questions don't have two answers.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean? It was discovered and not invented?
Because like X-rays exist in the like invisible spectrum of light. They're a type of
but the application of them.
Yeah,
and like building machines to process
that was
pictures.
Like how they were discovered, I think, was
through
X-ray film. So it was like somebody discovered like, hey, wait a minute, what happened? Why'd this film look this way? And they're like, X-rays.
Right, but the machine that is used.
There wasn't a machine the first time.
What do you mean?
There was just, I don't know what made the X-rays.
Well, you can say that for any technology. Like, the science existed, and then we built something to harness the science.
Yeah. I think maybe...
Wow, man. Everything has always just existed.
I mean, I guess it's...
Everything that will be already is.
I guess it's like, as a scientist... Yeah, what do you think's better? Like saying I discovered something, something in our scientific world, or I invented something? Because, like... Isaac Newton discovered gravity, and we all know his name for that.
Right.
So maybe this guy was like, no, put me down as I discovered something, not I invented something. Because there's a lot of inventors
Johnny
out there
X.
that are wackos. John who?
Johnny X.
Johnny X? Who's Johnny X?
He discovered the X-ray.
No, that's not his name. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I didn't look into it. It might be. That might be his name. I apologize. I think this is from that chiropractor site. The skeleton isn't just a framework. It's all. No, because this I was impressed by. Never mind.
All right, impressive fact.
The skeleton isn't just a framework. It's also an organ that produces red blood cells and stores energy. That's crazy, huh? Like your skeleton's doing stuff besides just keeping you up.
Yeah, I guess it's all a. You know what the thing is?
Do you know, Tim? Do you understand that your skeleton is what makes blood?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Because you think
I know.
about
I learned
something
that in biology class.
I
in
know,
7th grade.
but you think about there couldn't be something more bloodless than a skeleton.
That's true.
Yeah, imagine you're fighting a skeleton. You like hit it with a rock and like a fucking ton of blood starts coming out.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, now you feel bad.
Yeah.
20 seconds ago, this guy was chasing you full speed through the forest.
Yeah, but I know you had like blood in all those bones.
Yeah.
Those just bones.
Yeah. I think I understood that the way that you intellectually understood that there was spongy stuff inside bones. It's like, I never really thought about
Right.
it.
Because
You
then
get
you're
blood
like,
in there.
yeah, and how's it getting out of the bones?
Yeah.
Osmosis?
I don't know if any of this works. I don't understand how the human body works, but the other thing is, like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But I think we're both, like, stupid enough that, like, a little bit stupider. And, I mean, arguably, we're still there. We don't believe a lot of this stuff.
Why would we?
Like, I'm telling
a lot of it sounds legitimately far-fetched.
I'm telling you that that bones make blood, and you're like, yeah, I learned about that. But I know in your head, you're going, yeah, right. You don't know that.
Dead to right stuff. That's
You don't know that
exactly my
either.
stance.
Nobody's proven it. Nobody's shown a skeleton making blood.
I'm the man that questioned that they know how many bones are in a skeleton earlier.
I mean, those they can count. You think some disappear when you die?
Maybe.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can find all our social media links there, our subreddit, our Discord. Tim, what's a good question for the subreddit this week in relations to this topic about skeletons? You think I'll keep reading the
God, okay, yeah.
the things.
You're reading this up.
tcgt.com. Yeah, I'm reading it from my brain. You can find all that stuff like I talked about earlier. Also check out patreon.com/complete guide with the Books of Podcasts, a weekly podcast all about books. This week we're wrapping up. Tim read Kurt Vonnegut's Player Piano. There's not a movie that they made out of it or anything, so we're just going to talk about our favorite piano players for an hour.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get it.
You didn't understand why that
No,
was?
I thought you just wanted to talk about piano players.
Yeah, and before, I was wondering, because before you were like, okay, I guess we'll like make it Rocktober or something. I'm like, well, no, because you're reading Player Piano. All right, fine, whatever.
I think there was a movie for Player Piano.
Not about, you're thinking of The Pianist.
I'm thinking of The Player. I'm thinking of The Player's Ball.
I don't know what that is.
I'm thinking of Monsters Ball.
Anyway, patreon.com/complete guide. You can find the new episode and all the old episodes of Books Podcast as well.
You know what I just want to know?
What?
Let's see who has the gnarliest broken bone story.
Between me and you?
No, in the Patreon, in the Reddit, in the subreddit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Doesn't have to be something that happened to you, but it has to be something that happened to somebody you know or you witnessed it happen.
No pics.
No pics and like no death, no like.
Yeah.
I saw this guy. He was getting shot out of a cannon. And right before they put a brick wall up in front of him.
Maybe not gnarly, because I don't want to... But like...
craziest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like craziest ways you've seen or heard
the
of
most
somebody breaking a bone.
head-scratchingest broken bones.
Yeah.
With Tim Allen.
Them bones.
I feel like we didn't talk about the scary part of skeletons a lot.
All right, then what do you have to say about the scary part of skeletons?
They're
scary.
Yeah, they come out and they scare people.
I find like when I was doing my research, I found like all these like articles tracing the origin of skeletons with Halloween and I'm
like
just
dead
thinking
people.
like yeah, it's dead people. When
Rising
people
from the
die,
dead,
they
yeah.
turn into skeletons, and people are afraid biologically are designed to be afraid of death. That's where it begins and ends. It seemed pretty simple. Like other things, I was gonna say ghosts. No, I get why ghosts are a part of Halloween. Like black cats, I guess, or why black cats? But
a bad omen.
Yeah, but like why? But that's not nearly as head scratch or non-head scratching as skeletons.
Right.
I'm trying to think of anything that's associated with Halloween that isn't scary. Like bats are scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like bats and black cats aren't like actually dangerous to you.
That's also like nighttime stuff.
Yeah, it's just kind of nighttime stuff. That's when they're out.
And nighttime's scary.
Yeah, and that's when the skeletons come out at nighttime.
Mm-hmm. Watch your back, folks.
Especially for that enamel guy.
Shiny as hell, looking sharp.
Shiny skeletons.
That's an innovation that we need to figure out how to capitalize on.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.